So right, this is the second unit C reading, children. Bammera Pothana, the jewel of Telugu literature. So I warmly welcome you to today's C reading of the Bammera Pothana, the jewel of Telugu literature. It will take just 5 to 10 minutes to complete this explanation. This is about the biography of Bammera Pothana, whom we call as a familiar writer in Telugu and most probably from Telangana. So let us go for understanding what is about Bammera Pothana. So Bammera Pothana was a remarkable poet who was born in our state. He translated Bhagavatam into Telugu. So what the greatness of Pothana means, we have already called that Pothana's Bhagavatam. So Pothana translated Bhagavatam into Telugu language. He was born in the village called Bammera. So what is the village name where he was born? His village name is Bammera. So from there we can call him as Bammera Pothana. Pothana was born in Bammera village in Warangal district. He belonged to an agricultural family. His father was Kesanna and his mother was Lakshmamma. He never irritated to work in the agricultural fields despite his interest in poetry. So even he was very interested in poetry, he never said no to work in agriculture. So he worked in agricultural fields. Again he come back to write his writing. So he was very interested to write poetry. So at the early age means in the beginning age, Pothana wrote Bogini Dandakam for King Sri Singha Bhopala. So first book name what he written by our Bammera Pothana, Bogini Dandakam. Bogini Dandakamu for king name King Sri Singha Bhopala. Bhopala. And next one, he wrote Veerabhadra Vijayamu, describing about the adventures of Veerabhadra, the son of Lord Shiva. So secondly, he written about one more book that is called Veerabhadra Vijayamu. This Veerabhadra Vijayamu talks about the adventures what Veerabhadra, the son of Lord Shiva, has done. It was clearly mentioned by our Bammera Pothana in his poetry. Next writing, he was written the main theme of the work of destruction of the Yajna performed by King Daksha in the absence of the Lord Shiva. So this is the story about Veerabhadra Vijayam. Next, Pothana, in the beginning we can know that Pothana was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Later he became the devotee of Lord Rama. First he followed Shiva, but later he left Shiva and he followed Rama. He left Shiva and he followed Rama and developed interest in salvation. It is said that he was invoked by Lord Rama and took up the work of translating Vyasa's, we know who written that Bhagavatam, Vyasa's Bhagavatam into Telugu, which was later known as Pothana's Bhagavatam. It is said that Lord Rama himself complemented the work. Pothana himself created this in his Bhagavatam. So later he translated, when he started following Rama, he started writing about Rama. Then he got Vyasa's Bhagavatam and later he translated that into Telugu language, and after translating that, Lord Rama himself praised Bammera Pothana for the work what he has translation of Bhagavatam into Telugu language. Next, what small stanza we have gone here, we got here from Bhagavatam. Palikedi Bhagavatamata, Palikinchedi Vadu, Ramabhadrutata, నే పలికిన భావహరవగుణట పలికెద వేరుండు గాద పలుకగ నేల. So this was a small stanza poem we have got from Bhagavatam. This is talking about the significance, how Bhagavatam was important for everybody here. Say that palikedi Bhagavatamata, palikincheduvaadu Ramabhadrudata, means what I was writing, what I was speaking, that is Bhagavatam. And this is not my word. These are not my words. Who insisted me to talk these words means Palikincheduvaadu Ramabhadrudata, means the person who is making me to talk, that is Ramabhadrudu, means Lord Rama. And Ne Palikina Bhavaharamagunata means what if I speak the words, it will give a significant meaning for every word. And Ne Bhavaharamagunata Palikeda Verundu Gada Palukaganela. So when I was feeling very happy, when the words were mesmerizing me, why should I stop talking? So I started talking. I was moving on. I was writing about Rama. So that was the verse said by written by our Bammera Pothana in Bhagavatam. So Pothana dedicated his Bhagavatam to Lord Rama. So refusing the orders of King Padmanayaka. So when he was alive, when he written Bhagavatam, means when he translated Bhagavatam into Telugu language, during those time he was under the king Lord, means King Padmanayaka. So Padmanayaka asked him, you are dedicating some books to every king. So actually why? Because the first one, Bogini Dandakamu, he dedicated, he given that books to King Sri Sringa Bhupala. So same like that, Padmanayaka asked, you just submit me, or you just dedicate this Pothana Bhagavatam, means you translation of Bhagavatam into Telugu language, you dedicate me. But he said, no, I can't do, because he decided to dedicate the book to Lord Rama. And he thought it would be better to dedicate the divine work to Lord Rama, not to any mortal king. So he said that I can't dedicate this book to a mortal king, a living king, because a mortal means a person who can live for some years and later will die. A person who have death. Immortal means what? Mortal and immortal. Immortal means no death. So he's saying that no, it is not good to dedicate this such a great work about the Lord's significance, about the greatness of God. So why should I give, or why should I dedicate to a mortal person who will die after some years? So I don't want to give that. I want to give to somebody else. And who is he means? I want to dedicate this book to Lord Rama. It is better to dedicate such a divine work, great work to Rama. Pothana was fond of using rhythm and repetition of sounds. So here Pothana's greatness. He used to use rhyme and rhythm. Every word will have a rhyme and rhythm. For example, now we just read a stanza. When you look at the starting one, Palikedi, next Palikincheduvaadu, Palikina, Palikeda. So these first lines, see how the rhyme. And come for last one. So Bhagavatamata, Bhavaharamagunata, how, and Nela. So this how Ramabhadrudata. So pa. So this is called rhyme and rhythm. So he used to follow. That was a greatness of Bammera Pothana that made him to be very recognized, because his writings were very familiar. At the same time, his way of writing style, using of rhyme and rhythm, particular things that made Bammera Pothana to become very, very famous in Telugu literature. Next, his descriptions touch the hearts of the readers. So whatever he was explaining, that touches the hearts of the people. The way he conveys, the way he conveys his words will touch the hearts of the readers who were reading that. And even the common people quote the verses of Gajendra Moksham and Prahalada Charitra from Pothana's Bhagavatam. When even unknown people also, unknown who don't know about Bhagavatam also, they will use some certain words which were copied from Gajendra Moksham. Means Bhagavatam contains many parts, many stories. So in that we have Gajendra Moksham, Prahalada Charitra. So about Prahalada, who went to some Himalayas with a gel. So we have seen the story, and Gajendra Moksham, how elephant will give him moksham, so rescuing. So that with the stories of Gajendra Moksham and Prahalada Charitra. So very wonderful stories in the Bhagavatam. So Pothana is not among us now. He was not alive with us, but he passed away long back. So but his works live forever and ever. His poetry still rings in our ears. So even Pothana was not alive today. Pothana was not alive today, but his writings, his works, whatever he done, like Pothana, Bhagavatam and Bogani Dandakamu, Veerabhadra Vijayam, all the writings and poems and stanzas and his words were still with us. For that only we are calling Pothana the jewel of Telugu literature. He was one of the greatest poets in Telugu literature. That is the greatness of Bammera Pothana, and that is the end of today's session. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, Bammera Pothana, the jewel of Telugu literature, and we are very proud that he belongs to Telangana and from Warangal, Bammera village. So that is the end of the story, and I hope that meet in the next session. Until then, take care and bye-bye.